name is Rachel Kiddell-Monroe, and I work with Universities Allied for Essential Medicines. I think the history of UAEM is a beautiful history because it came out of one woman's determination to make a difference at her university and to rail against what she felt was such an injustice. That was Amy Kapczynski. She went to a talk in New York that was being given by a medical doctor from Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, or MSF, as everyone knows it, who was saying that in South Africa he was trying to treat AIDS patients, but he was not able to get the medicines, and he was having to illegally smuggle in his own suitcase, in his car, drugs in order to treat his patients. And that he had gone to the pharmaceutical company and he'd gone to the university, who had actually, the university, which was Yale University, who had actually developed that drug in the first place, and then to Bristol-Myers Squibb, which was the company that had bought the rights to that drug. And he'd been to both and pleaded with them, I have patients, they need access to this drug that you have, which was called D4T, and he was told no. First, the Bristol-Myers Squibb said, no, you have to go and see Yale. Then Yale said, oh, we can't do anything, our hands are tied because Bristol-Myers Squibb, etc. So Amy heard this and she said, I'm a Yale University student, this is my university. This is a university that we're paying taxpayers, money is going into that research, this is not possible. So she went back and she started to talk to administrators, and she got so much pushback, which just increased her determination. Other students at Yale, she rallied, she got round, and the big turning point was that she went to see the scientist who had helped to develop D4T, which was Professor Prusov, and he was absolutely shocked at the story that she told him. So he wrote a letter to the New York Times and said, I did not produce this drug for rich people, I produced this drug to be available for everyone. This is why I'm a researcher, this is what I do. That was a turning point, and very soon after that, Bristol-Myers Squibb and Yale University announced that they would have a cheaper pricing, and then this eventually led to more discussions among the students of, well, how can we change this system? So other students in other universities in the US heard about what this group at Yale had done, said we should be doing that at our university. And then by 2006, they had something quite interesting going and felt that they should really create themselves into more of a formal network. So they created Universities Allied for Essential Medicines, and the precept of it was that universities have a social mission, they should be responding to the needs of the population, and that students had a role to play to make sure their universities did that. And that their universities should have something called global access licensing, which would mean every time there was a discovery made at a university, they would have they would have a license to a pharmaceutical company to develop it. But if there was found that that medicine could be used in ways that would benefit people in low and middle income countries, there would be a clause in that license, which we call a global access license, to ensure that there could be generic production of that drug. And this is what we've been working on. And the beauty of it is that the universities, the students at university, while they're there doing this, and the feeling and the emotion around the need to do this has grown. So now that we have students all over Europe working on this. We have a UAEM in Europe, we have students in Brazil working on this, we have a UAEM in Brazil, we've got people in India, we have people in Nepal, we have people in South Africa. The idea, the dream of this is really spreading, and I think that's the exciting part, where students start to take ownership of their universities again.
We're just doing the background.
I did most of this, by the way.
Trying to get the students to color it up to make it stand out. It's been amazing. You have no idea how much.
Oh, the yes men were so awesome. You know what we need to do as an organization?
Putting the dot in the eyes.
I am notorious for making spelling mistakes.
No, you're
in every single one.
In the eye.
No, it's a capital I, yeah. How do you say it? It's tissue, not tissue. Fabric. So you fold it up, you throw it in your suitcase. Anyone in UAM could use it.
It's a prototype.
It's the Pratik made the prototype.
And I got longer
proof of
inside and I
concept.
should.
And the T. And then you.
No, sure, please. Him.
No, not at all.
No, just to let him try.
I need
and then now
I-
you can do correct.